Sumbo, an only child to a widowed mother, was a very loved girl. Her mother did everything she could to give her the best that she could. Her mother, not very educated herself, was very determined to give their child a quality education, even if it meant she would have to work twice as hard to see her desires come to pass. Most women will come to the market to sell their fish only on market days, but Sumbo's mother will go to the market every day. She had to put in the work to feed she and her daughter and also save for Sumbo's school. So every morning before the sunrise, she would wake up and make the tedious journey to the river just in time to be part of the first traders to buy from the fishermen at a cheaper price. She would then walk back to the market to set up her goods for sale. Some days were better than others, but she showed up regardless every day. Her only daughter, Sumbo, had just been admitted into one of the best schools in their village. Sumbo was beyond excited when she got the news that she was admitted into the African School of Excellence. It was like a dream, and she owed it all to her mother, her loving mother, who had done everything in her power to see this dream come to pass. Sumbo didn't know what to expect in this school. What would it be like for her? None of her friends would be in this new school. And if not for the part scholarship she had gotten and her mother's sacrifices, there was no way she would be here too. But what if these schoolmates want nothing to do with me? Or worse, what if they mocked me? Sumbo thought to herself as she prepared for her first day at the African School of Excellence. The next morning as she walked to her new school, she thought to herself, I know exactly what I will do. And her face relaxed and her smile widened. A few weeks passed, and Sumbo had made friends with a group of wealthy, stylish girls. They would usually hang out at the school cafeteria, gossiping and laughing. Sumbo, sitting with her new friends and trying to impress them, said, "You guys won't believe it. My family is practically loaded. My dad is a big shot in one of those oil companies. I mean, you wouldn't expect it from me, right?" One of the girls, Tolu, clearly impressed, responded, "Wow, Sumbo, you are so full of surprises. I mean, you don't look like someone who would come from such a rich family." Sumbo tried to hide a nervous laugh as she answered Tolu, "Yeah, well, my parents want me to keep a low profile for now. You know how it is. So much pressure to stay humble." Shaliwa, the snob of the group, and who is also the biggest show-off, chimes into the conversation. "I totally get that. It's so nice to have money. I can't even imagine not being able to afford stuff. And my dad buys me the latest iPhone every time a new one comes out." Sumbo, smiling to herself, thinking, maybe if I just keep this up, I'll finally fit in. I'm not really hurting anyone after all. A whole session passes, and Sumbo's lies seem to have settled on everyone. As far as her classmates knew, she is the daughter to one of the oil magnates in town, and she had come to be accepted and liked. She and the girls will hang out every other day, gisting and laughing, and it was all perfect for her, until one day, Sumbo's mother, who was very proud of her daughter, decided to come to pay her a surprise visit in school. Sumbo and her friends were hanging out after school as usual and taking selfies. They were loud and laughing, talking about their teachers and the other students who were not as social as they were. When suddenly, Sumbo sees her mother walking towards the group, holding a large basket filled with fish. The group goes silent. Sumbo's mother, smiling brightly, rushes to her daughter. "Sumbo, my daughter, I brought you fresh fish from the market. I know you have been working hard at school, so I thought you could use a little treat. You can share with your friends too." The girls whispering to each other, "Who is she? There's no way that's a wife to an oil magnate." Shaliwa, the snob, almost shouted, "Ugh, what's that smell? Is that fish, like real fish?" Sumbo's eyes widened in horror, but she tried to whisper to her mother at the same time, "Mother, what are you doing here?" She looked around nervously, trying to hide her embarrassment. Sumbo's mother proudly stepped forward and, clearly surprised at her daughter's reaction, said to her daughter, "Why, my daughter? I wanted to surprise you. You always work so hard. I've brought you plenty. The fish is fresh." Tolu, one of the girls, responds with a disgusted expression. "Ugh, the smell is just so strong. Are you sure you can eat that in here?" Shaliwa fans her nose dramatically while rolling her eyes. She spits out, "I don't think anyone's allowed to bring fish into the school, right? It's not exactly polite." Sumbo, looking at her mother with growing panic, then turning to her friends, she says quietly, "Guys, I don't know her. I don't know who she is," as she pushed her way out of her mother's embrace. Sumbo's mother, finally understanding what was going on, was hurt, but she tried to stay strong. "Sumbo, what do you mean?" Sumbo forced a smile and talking just loud enough for both of them to hear what she said. She said to her mother, "Seriously, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends, mother. You should leave." Sumbo's mother, confused and heartbroken, walked away slowly. "I was only trying to help you, Sumbo. I'll go, but you know I love you, always." As Sumbo's mother exits, the girls exchange uncomfortable glances. Sumbo is embarrassed and doesn't know what to do. How will she go home to her mother tonight? What would the girls think of her? She had just denied knowing her mother in front of her friends. How will she face her? As she was left alone, sitting on a bench in front of the school, Chinasa, a quieter girl in class, approached her, looking serious but concerned. She walked up to her. "Sumbo, I need to talk to you." Sumbo tried to avoid eye contact with her, but she whispered, "Look, I don't want to get into it, okay? It's just embarrassing." Chinasa sits beside her and puts a hand across her shoulder. "I get it, Sumbo, but denying your mother? That's not right. You look so much like her. The resemblance is uncanny. Anyone with eyes can see that. How could you act like you don't know her?" Sumbo defensively cries out, "I just wanted to fit in. You would never understand. I didn't want them to think I was some poor girl with a fish-selling mom." "I get it," Chinasa answered. "But who are you trying to impress, really? Those girls, do they even care about you or where you come from?" "Sumbo," she continued, "your mother is so proud of you. I could tell just by how she looked at you that she really loves you. What happened today, that was not you, and you need to go and apologize to her." Sumbo decided to take Chinasa's advice and goes to her mother's small fish stall in the market, looking nervous but determined. Her mother is there selling fish to customers, busy but still smiling. Sumbo musters all of her courage and walked up to her mother. "Mother, can we talk?" Her mother looks up while wiping her hands. "Sumbo, my daughter," she exclaimed, not showing a hint of what had transpired earlier in the day. "What brings you here? You should be in school studying hard." Sumbo couldn't take it anymore. She rushed to her mother and kneels in front of her, sobbing, "Mother, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have treated you that way. I was ashamed of you. I thought if I lied about who I was, I'd be better, that I'd fit in. But now I know I was wrong. I know it was wrong, Mother." Sumbo's mother smiles with understanding and pulls her daughter up. She holds her hands and says to her, "My dear daughter, don't ever be ashamed of who you are. We may not have much, but we have love and hard work, which is what counts. Don't let the world make you forget where you came from." Sumbo, with tears rolling down her cheeks, "I am so sorry, Mom. I love you so much." Sumbo's mother laughs lightly and pulls her daughter into an embrace. "I love you too, my daughter, always." The next day, Sumbo stands in front of her elite friends at their usual spot at the cafeteria. And with the way everyone whispered and pointed at her, she was sure the news had gone round, but she didn't care. It didn't bother her. It made her more determined to set things right. She stands in front of them and starts talking. Okay, ladies, I need to confess something. I'm sure you already know, but I'll say it anyway. The woman who came in with the fish yesterday is my mother. My father is not an oil magnate, and we don't have as much money as I've lied to you all about. My mother and her fish business is the reason I can come to this school. I lied about who I was and tried to deny her yesterday because I wanted to be accepted by you all. But I've realized it is better to be true to myself. She's the reason I'm here today. And if you can't accept me for who I am, then I don't want to be your friends. Tolu, laughing awkwardly, tries to mock her. Oh, wait, you're serious? Like fish seller serious? Shaliwa sniffing the air, pretending to gag. Ugh, I mean, that's kind of sad, right? Sumbo, standing tall, looks them in the eye. It's not sad. It's my truth. And if you can't accept it, then maybe we are not as close as I thought. I don't need fake friends, and I don't have to be fake to make friends. I need people who see me for who I am and love me that way. Chinasa, watching the whole exchange, smiled proudly and cheered her on. Exactly. You are Sumbo who works hard, loves her family, and knows what really matters. Sumbo, smiling with newfound confidence, walks away from the group. Take care, guys. I've got better things to do than pretend. She walks confidently back to class. Sumbo learned that the best way to fit in was not by pretending to be someone she was not, but by being true to herself. True friends will always see the beauty in that, and in the end, her mother's love was all she needed to truly feel at home.